What's up everybody, welcome back, and today I am talking about my favorite retro game collections that are available on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. Now I will be showing all the B-roll and stuff like that on the Nintendo Switch. That's the console I own them on, and that's, in my opinion, that's the preferred way to play a lot of these games just because of the whole hybrid feature that the Nintendo Switch presents. But you could also own these on PlayStation and Xbox, which is really cool. Alright, so with that being said, let's jump into this list. Alright, so the first one I want to talk about is the Castlevania Advance Collection. I was born in 1991, I'm 31 years old. I did not have access to the Super Nintendo growing up. I never owned a Nintendo 64. I only ever had experience with it in my friends' houses. Really the first console I attained, like I was able to get for myself and I grew up with, was the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance. And the Game Boy Advance has an amazing library. And Konami made 3 great Castlevania games on that Game Boy Advance library that are available in this collection. This is a great collection because you have all 3 Castlevania games. You have Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, and Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. On top of that, you get a bonus game, Dracula X. So you're getting 4 games in this collection. Now, I'm going to show you guys some of the prices on eBay for the Game Boy Advance games of Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, and Circle of the Moon. They're not cheap, you know, and a lot of these are loose. So you're going to be spending a lot of money, assuming you don't already have a Game Boy Advance or a way of playing them. So this collection, I think it's a great way to have all 3 games in one place and being able to play them in your console of choice. So it could be the Switch, it could be the PlayStation, or the Xbox. This is a great collection. On top of the games that you get at your disposal, you have a couple of bonus stuff as well. This collection also comes with a music player where you could hear your favorite tracks if you want, kind of like an MP3 format, I guess. And one that I really like is the gallery. Now, I really like the gallery. The gallery has tons of stuff in there. You have concept art of the characters, you have drawings of the levels and just kind of the world and promos that were done. And one of my favorite things about this, you get to see the actual boxes of the games that they came out in. So you can see the Game Boy Advance front and back of the boxes of all 3 games. You could see the instruction booklet, the manuals. This is some high detail stuff. You could zoom in, you could even read what's on the pamphlets, and you could just see the cool little drawings that are in the manuals that really make collecting complete so much fun. Unfortunately, this stuff is really expensive if you're trying to buy this complete. I would say though, if you can't collect complete, this is probably the next best thing. This is awesome, and it's super detailed and very informative, and it's just a great piece of history, a way to preserve these awesome games that released, what, 20 years ago now, which is really cool. Overall, I think Konami put a lot of attention to detail with this collection, and I definitely applaud them for that. Alright, the next collection I want to talk about is the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. Beat 'em Up games to me are the best format of pick up and play. It is awesome. You get to sit down, play for 15, 20, 30 minutes, beat up some bad guys, go on to the next level, you know, rinse and repeat. And we all know Capcom had some amazing arcade cabinets back in the 80s and the 90s. They really were one of the best ones when it came to arcade gaming, and they were able to put some of the best beat 'em ups of their library into this collection. Comes with, you know, games like Final Fight, Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, Armored Warriors, Battle Circuit. It is some great quality stuff that comes with save states. You know, you could do that if you want. And this is really fun. Another cool feature that this beat 'em up collection has is that it has online play. So you could play with your friends online if you want to, which I think it's a lot of fun. And I think this is something that I personally haven't tried just because I play a lot on the Switch. But I would like to try this on the PlayStation. If you've tried this, let me know in the comments and see how the experience is for the most part. But I think this is a really neat and smart feature. What's cool as well is that this collection also has a gallery option. And there you could see the concept art of all the games that came out. And they're split into categories. So if you want to go to, for example, Final Fight, there you could see the concept art, you could see the promos, there are even some comic strips of stuff that I guess they released for promotional purposes, I guess, that you could see all of that here. And I think that's really awesome. Another, I think, awesome way to just kind of preserve this awesome arcade gaming history that is in this collection. Alright, the next collection I want to talk about is the Neo Geo Pocket Color Collection, Volumes 1 and 2. I'm going to put both of them in the same category just because they complement each other. I think this is awesome collection because it introduces many, including myself, to really an obscure library. So when I found out that Neo Geo had an actual handheld console, I was blown away. I thought it was absolutely awesome. And when I found out there was a collection, I had to have it, and this is great. You have awesome stuff. In Volume 1, you have stuff like Big Tournament Golf, you have Metal Slug First Mission, Metal Slug Second Mission. Volume 2 has more games, which is really cool. Baseball Stars, Big Bang Pro Wrestling, Mega Man Battle and Fighters, which I think it's really cool. Neo Geo Cup 98. You have some awesome stuff here. Puzzle Link, which is a lot of fun. Puzzle Link is, do not sleep on Puzzle Link. It's a really fun game. And these are games that were made specifically for the Neo Geo Pocket. These weren't games that were attempted port-overs. No, they were specifically made for this console, so they run very well. They look awesome. The sprite work is very impressive for something this small and of that time. So I think it's really cool. Another very neat feature that you have here is that you could go to the box and look at the box, zoom in on it, move it around, and look at text behind everything. This is some high detail stuff. You could zoom in, you could zoom out, and I think this is such a cool feature. You could also go, and they have the manual as well. You could look into the manual, turn the pages, and it shows you everything. Table of contents, the little instructions on how to play, and I think this is really awesome. They really, again, attention to detail in these collections, which I think it's great. It's great because the Neo Geo Pocket Color is not cheap. The console is gonna run you between, it's like around over $100 probably, and that's just the console. If you want to get one in good condition. The other problem too was that the console was not backlit, which was a bit of a downer. There do exist people that mod these stuff into and give it backlights, and those are a lot more expensive. And on top of that, guys, the library, the physical library of this thing is insanely expensive. It is really expensive. There are some games that range in like the $500 to $1,000 range, some even more. So being able to have all these in a collection, and two types of collections, and being able to have them at your disposal to play, I think is absolutely awesome and very well done. Now, the only caveat with this collection is that it's only available on the Nintendo Switch and Steam. It is not available on PlayStation or Xbox for whatever reason, so that is a bit of a downer. But if you have a Switch, jump on this collection right now. Alright guys, the next collection I want to cover is the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. This is a very awesome collection because this covers the SNK arcade cabinet games from as late as 1978 to 1990. So you have it covers a great amount of time, and there's a lot of games in this collection. You have games like Guerrilla War, Ikari Warriors, Athena, a lot of great games, great shoot 'em up games, and some awesome little fighter ones as well. You have Zima Wars, Psychic Soldier, Prehistoric Isle. You have a really cool collection of awesome arcade games. This also comes with rewind features and save states if you want to go that route as well. So the quality of life improvements are definitely there, and they look awesome. Now, to me, my favorite thing about this collection, it's more so the museum that they have within the game more than the games themselves. Now, the museum is kind of like a gallery, but they take it to the next level. They show you concept art and promos, but with detailed informations and descriptions of how certain cabinets came about, what years they were developed, how it worked, when certain games released, and how they did. And this is a great asset if you're somebody that wants to learn about retro game history, if you're somebody that wants to learn about retro arcade game history. This is a great tool, great asset to really learn and go back in time and really just kind of dive in and learn about this genre of gaming that took place in the early, mid, and late 80s. This is a great collection and a great learning tool as well if you're somebody that wants to get into retro collecting or retro gaming, or you want to learn more about retro gaming history. This is a great asset and a great tool. Great collection. The last collection I want to talk about is my personal favorite for many reasons. This is the Sega Genesis Classics Collection. Guys, this is an amazing collection, a very amazing gaming library that you can play on your Switch. It's also on PlayStation, it's also on Xbox. This is a great collection. This is a really special collection for me because this really was where I got into Sega consoles. Growing up, I only knew about the Dreamcast, and the only reason why was because I would go to a CompUSA with my dad as a kid, and they just had a Dreamcast demo booth of Sonic Adventures. And I didn't see a Dreamcast for years later until I went into one of my friend's houses and he just happened to have one. This was years after though. So my experience growing up with Sega stuff was non-existent. I did not know it existed. I did not know it was a factor. So I was blown away with the amount of quality that existed in that Sega Genesis back in the 90s. And this was really where I got into learning about Sega, looking back at their history, learning about the consoles, learning about the games that were released, learning about the genres that existed. And that's really where I fell into this rabbit hole of Sega. I have a Genesis now, I have a Saturn, I have a Dreamcast now, and my collection's there. And all of this was because of this collection that really introduced me that, wow, Sega, they have some awesome games and they have a great history. This is a great collection, man. I'm gonna list some games out for you. You got Alien Soldier, Beyond Oasis, which is a great game, a Zelda clone that it's very, very nice game. Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3, amazing beat 'em up. Gunstar Heroes, one of my personal Sega favorite running gun shooters. This is one of my favorite games on the Sega Genesis. Love Gunstar Heroes. You have Shining Force 1 and 2, awesome RPG series. You have Shinobi, 1 through 3. You have Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. You have Sonic 2, Sonic and Knuckles. It has an insane list of games. This is crazy. You have Galaxy Force. You have Sonic Spinball, Space Harrier, Sword of Vermilion, The Revenge of Shinobi. Like, this is a great collection, bro. And this stuff has save states. It has rewind features if you want to do that as well. It has that quality of life improvements. You could toggle with the filter if you want scan lines or not, and all that stuff. This is an amazing collection. This is a great value for your dollar because, my God, some of these Sega games on the Genesis are not cheap. Beyond Oasis, the Streets of Rage games, these games, they're pricey, and the fact that all of this exists in this console. And what's cool is that this is yours. I know that the Nintendo Switch Online subscription has Sega Genesis as part of that subscription, but what sucks is that it's tied to that subscription, meaning that if you, for whatever reason, stop paying for that subscription, you don't get access to those games anymore. This collection is yours, online subscription or not, and you could buy it, you own it, and it's yours, and you can play it when you're online, when you're offline, which is absolutely beautiful. This is an amazing collection. Alright guys, so these are my favorite retro gaming collections that you can play on modern consoles today. If you have a collection that you know about, let me know in the comments, man. I'm always looking for retro games to play on new stuff, and collections even better. Let me know if there's some that I don't know about, that I didn't mention, that you think should be on this list. Maybe I could do a follow-up video. Let me know, and we could all keep learning more and more together. Aside from that, thank you for everyone who has been subscribing and liking my videos in these last couple weeks. It's been a bit overwhelming. The PS5 unboxing video just blew up out of nowhere. Did not expect that. So for all the newcomers, welcome to the island. I'm really happy to have you guys here, and I'm trying to keep this content going and really appreciate the support. Alright guys, so that's all I have to say for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.